Welcome back to the Grumpy Old Guy Wood Carving Studio. If this is your first time here, my name is Harry. In this part, I kept it pretty short. It's just basic whittling, the body and the arms, but I wanted to show every step of the process throughout all these parts. So if you're ready, let's get started. Here I'm just starting out by rounding out the corners a little bit. It doesn't have to be real round. And in this next one, we're going to bore the neck hole for the neck. We're also drilling a hole so that the carving screw can be inserted in to hold it onto the carving arm. And just doing some more rounding. I bounce back and forth between the carving arm and holding it in my hands. Some movements just seem a little more natural if you change the position. Be careful when you're making those paring cuts. I like to wear a glove in my other hand so that I don't cut it. It's a Kevlar glove. You can, it'll stop slices, but it won't stop pokes, so be careful not to poke yourself. Here, be careful, very careful about carving towards yourself. You can see it's just, I'm making short strokes pivoting on my wrist rather than bringing it back to the Here I'm taking off the bandsaw marks. I just wanted you to hear the sound of me carving on wood. I love that sound. Here I'm just doing a little more rounding, moving more bandsaw marks. And here I'm using the V-tool to separate the belt from the body. And now I'm using a shallow gouge to take the wood down to the belt. The V-tool is good for, I like it better than using a knife for stop cuts. And here I'm doing it in my lap again. Be very careful. And slip and gouge your leg. Here I'm just using a pocket knife to round down the belt a little bit because I rounded out the body a little bit more, so I need to round out the belt to make it not look like it's squared off. And just continuing to do some rounding out as you take a little bit away on one side, then you see that you need to take more on another side. It's a never-ending thing. So you just got to stop at some point because, like I said, this isn't going to be perfectly round, and it's just a simple caricature of a Santa Claus. And again, I'm using a V-tool to separate the fur trim of his jacket from the jacket. So just be careful with that V-tool. I'm using a little gouge to clean that way and give it some depth around the. Got his body cut out. It's just a simple body, no, not much detail, just the belt and the fur trim. I got the hole drilled for the neck piece and the string that will go down inside of it. This part here is going to be taken down some after I figure out how wide the legs are. I'll match the legs, match this to the legs, and then finish cutting that out and shaping it. But that's pretty much done. All I have to do is drill the holes for the arm strings And we can move on to how about the arms. For the upper arm, I made one pattern, and I cut out 2 pieces with the same pattern. The right arm, or the left arm, that's the flat side. The right arm, all I have to do is turn it around now, and I've got the right arm and the left arm. As far as the side goes, this will be the front, and I've got 2 with that same pattern. I don't have to turn it around because the front is the front. I'm going to start by cutting off or shaping the side of the arm first, and then all I have to do is just round the corners off a little bit. That'll be the whole upper arm. I'll do it twice. Just like on my mini-me Marionette, the most detail will be in the head. The rest of this is just a fairly simple carving. Alright, this is one upper arm. Just have to do the same thing with the other. I'm not going to get too detailed with this either. And for the joint, we'll be working on that later. First, I just want to get the shapes of the upper and lower arms. Got 2 upper arms done now. They're not exactly alike, but they're close enough, and I don't want to put in the final shaping until after I've done the lower arms and we set the joints. So let's move on to the lower parts of the arms. Same thing with the lower arms. I used one pattern, cut out 2 pieces, and one I'll just flip over 180 degrees, and we'll have 2 arms, two lower arms. I also cut out the side view on the bandsaw. So basically all I have to do now is round it out. This top part, I put in extra wood. This would be the joint. This would be the part that inserts into the upper arm and then is pinned. I like to put in center lines when I'm rounding things, and I want both parts, both halves to be fairly equal. This way I've got a reference. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get a center line in there. And put one on all 4 sides. When I round, I know how far to go on each side. Been noticing the difference in this wood that I've been using. Different pieces have different characteristics. This one's harder. Doesn't cut as cleanly as the upper leg pieces of wood. They all come out of, I'm assuming, different trees. That's all right, we'll make it work. 2 lower arms rounded, not final shaping yet though. First thing I need to do, or the next thing I need to do, is figure out the joint between the upper arm and the lower arm. And once I get that cut, then I can do the final shaping on that part. The lower part will slot, and that will take the hand. Will be the hand joint or the wrist joint. Now get off my lawn.